Hello and happy Tuesday, everybody. Here's what's coming up tonight on News Center Now. United Airlines, United Airlines, United Airlines. Everybody is talking about it. We've got some answers to your questions.
What more is there to say? Also, we're talking about moms who smoke marijuana and breastfeed.
And we're sending Keith outside because it's beautiful.
This is News Center Now.
Hello and happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm Lee Goldberg.
And I am Amanda Hill. We are starting this show with one of the big talkers. This has brought out a lot of emotions in people, not just the frequent flyers.
Yeah, the video of the guy yesterday getting dragged off of that United Airlines flight. Take a look at this.
My God, what are you doing?
Yeah, that video is certainly making the rounds on social media. It appears to show a man getting dragged off of a United Airlines flight after passengers had already boarded. The airline said it still needed 4 seats for some new members. 3 passengers volunteered to take the next flight after United offered hundreds of dollars in compensation.
The airline then asked this man to leave. According to the person who posted this video, the man said he was a doctor and had a surgery scheduled for the next morning, so he refused to get off the flight. Police were called. It ended with the man being dragged off the plane. So we're wondering, do officers have the right to remove someone from a plane? We sent Chris Costa out to verify that question.
Can a police officer remove someone from an airplane? According to Portland Police Assistant Chief Vern Malik, the answer is yes. Portland Police assigns officers specifically to the Portland Jetport. The assistant chief says that when a passenger refuses to give up his or her seat, it puts any officer in a bad position. He says that officer has to balance the amount of force he or she uses when removing that passenger. But the bottom line, the answer is yes. Police officers are allowed to remove someone from an airplane.
Well, they should be. Hi, this controversy, whoops, this is you, Chris.
Yeah, this controversy took a new turn this afternoon. And you guys are going to want to hear this. Seriously, a United spokesperson says that flight was not actually overbooked. 4 people still randomly selected to be removed to accommodate crew members. But United's contract of carriage policy says if a flight is oversold, a passenger can be involuntarily bumped once United personnel first ask for volunteers to give up their seat. But what are your rights if you are involuntarily bumped from a flight? A travel agent I spoke with says flights are regularly overbooked, but that she's never seen passengers be allowed to board the plane before figuring out which people will be bumped.
Airlines, when they offer the incentives before they start boarding the plane, if they don't get people for a lower value amount of a voucher, a lot of times they will increase that to get to the number of people that they need to voluntarily give up their seats.
Now, she says people should try to reserve their seat number ahead of time, but some airlines, such as United, say that seat assignments are not guaranteed and are subject to change without notice. So it's always good to
read the fine print.
And I think that's the biggest thing I think we saw all day today was people saying, why would you let them get on the plane in the first place and then try to physically, either don't let them on, or once they're on, you have to kind of let them go. I think that was the big argument out there. So.
Although we have heard that there are also times where 2 people have the same seat and they both board and one of them has to leave.
It's whoever gets there first. It depends airline to airline. Each one's very unique. So there's no real, I mean, you'd have to kind of, again, read that fine print. That's the way to know.
Well, either way, this has been a nightmare for United Airlines, and that's the other side of this story because they've been trying to deal with this issue.
Right, Katie, you've been following the company's reaction today. It's been interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely been a PR nightmare for United Airlines. Their shares went down 3%, wiping nearly $600 million off of their market value, according to USA Today. And more than one day after the scuffle went viral, United CEO Oscar Munoz issued a direct apology, calling it a truly horrific event that elicited many responses, including outrage, anger, and disappointment. He said, quote, "I deeply apologize to the customer forcibly removed and to all the customers aboard. No one should ever be mistreated this way. I want you to know that we take full responsibility and we will work to make it right." But this comes after a series of responses that many on social social media felt were inadequate. Yesterday, he initially apologized for, quote, having to reaccommodate these customers. And then an internal email Munoz sent to his employees was revealed. He said the employees followed the procedures for dealing with situations like this. Quote, while I deeply regret the situation arose, I also emphatically stand behind all of you, and I want to commend you for continuing to go above and beyond to ensure we fly right. The internet wasted no time throwing United under the bus, and you've probably seen all sorts of memes today with the trending hashtag New United Airlines mottos. We will leave that to you at home to look at on your own time, as we're definitely not going to get into that. Lee and Amanda.
Too many. Too many.
And that original video, I think I saw just under 19 million times that thing had been viewed. So.
Yeah, a lot of people sharing it. Hey, if you weren't able to get outside today, you obviously missed out.
Yeah, as I understand it, it's absolutely beautiful outside.
You haven't
so
been able to
we're
get
stuck in here, but we did send Keith out to enjoy the sunshine. Now, Keith, he's back at Hadlock Field, and this is what it looked like when we sent you there a week ago for the team's scheduled home opener. It is so much better today, isn't it?
It is, and I promised these guys that I would come back when it was actually nice out, so I delivered on that. And also, we spent a lot of quality time in Stormy this winter, which I thoroughly enjoyed, but I thought it'd be nice to get outside, in a case in which I didn't have to wear 15 layers underneath. Really nice day, the warmest day since fall for almost everybody in Maine. Let's take a look at where we ended up for highs. 84 in Sanford for a high temperature today. That's even above what I thought. 75 in Portland and 68 in Rockland. All right, if we can go and take a look at where we are right now, the sea breeze has kicked in. No surprise there. Along the coastline, temperatures have dropped. That's what we expected. 56 in Rockland, 65 in Portland, 60 in Bar Harbor, but still 84 in Sanford. That's ice cream weather, frozen yogurt, whatever it is that you like. We are seeing some high thin clouds spill in. You can see them over Hadlock right now. Not going to be a problem. In fact, it's going to insulate us a bit overnight and not allow temperatures to really drop off that much. A lot of us will spend the night sitting around 50 degrees. A few showers across northern Maine. Unfortunately, if you're watching us from Holton, you know, even just to the north of Bangor and into Greenville, it was much cooler there today with the front hanging around. Most of us will deal with the cold front coming through late tonight and in through tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to feature some showers, but by no means is it going to be a washout for us. We're going to see a few showers popping up, particularly during the afternoon hours. On the whole, though, guys, the forecast is good going forward, and I have an adjustment for Easter that I think most people are going to like. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
That Keith Carson's so cool. Hey, Maine has an aging population. In fact, we know it's statistically the oldest state in the country, and that puts a lot of us in the position of being caretakers for older parents. So here's a small piece of advice from the legislature today. Take advantage of a new tax credit. The Accessible Home Tax Credit is a Maine income tax credit that reimburses modifications that make homes more accessible for a person with a physical disability or hardship living there. That means if you have an elderly parent, maybe you've added a ramp to their home, a railing to grab onto, or just fixed some flooring to get rid of any tripping hazards, you could be eligible for up to $9,000 in a tax credit. Here's what you need to know to qualify. The credit is only available to applicants with an annual income of $55,000 or less. Modifications have to improve accessibility for the person who lives in the home and have to meet federal standards and comply with building codes. We have more information on how to apply for the tax credit on our website. Despite the governor's efforts, Dakota the dog will be euthanized. Here's a quick look at your news now. A judge from Waterville upheld an order to euthanize the 4-year-old husky. Dakota killed a neighbor's pug last year and has attacked other dogs in the past. Both Governor LePage and the state's Department of Conservation tried to save the dog, hoping to make sure that animal owners are afforded process.
Bizarre and scary scene on I-295 in Bodenham today. A small plane crashed on the highway. Neither the pilot nor the passenger were seriously injured in the incident, which happened just after 10 o'clock this morning. The pilot cited engine failure and told police he was trying to land on the highway. The plane tipped over the guardrail and has since been removed from the road.
The founder of a youth theater group in Brunswick has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of child sexual abuse involving an 11-year-old girl last September. Henry Eichmann is free after posting $5,000 cash bail in Saginaw County, where he faces another 16 counts of child sexual abuse. He's also pleaded not guilty to those charges. It's been a few months since marijuana was legalized here in Maine, and there's still a lot of questions about how to regulate and mandate its use.
Yeah, it's been legal in Colorado now for a lot longer, but they are still hashing out some of the details, including a controversial issue of women who smoke while breastfeeding. More on that next on Now.
Okay, so we know pot is legal in Maine now, but one topic we really haven't delved into much yet, women using marijuana while breastfeeding. In Colorado, public health officials have seen evidence that more pregnant women are using the drug to combat nausea, depression, and other symptoms.
Now they're warning that the THC is harmful to an unborn child, and now state health officials are working to find out how much of that THC is actually in the breast milk of nursing mothers.
Good job, good job.
Jamie Leone loves being a mom, but it hasn't been easy.
It was a tough pregnancy.
Jamie has battled depression all her life, and after giving birth at age 20, she became suicidal.
I would even have thoughts that maybe like if I was gone, my kid would be okay because my mom could raise him.
It was Jamie's husband who first suggested she try cannabis edibles to treat her depression.
He just told me, just take a few and tell me how you feel.
Since then, Jamie has been consuming edibles several times a week.
I feel like I have more patience with him. I'm able to be interactive with him because I'm a very quiet person.
But the concern is Jamie is still using cannabis while breastfeeding.
I think that it is perceived as being a medication or a drug that is very safe, it's very organic, and I think what we just don't know are the ill effects of that.
Dr. Erica Wymore, a neonatologist at Children's Hospital in Colorado, is leading the state's first pilot study on how long THC stays in breast milk of mothers who consume cannabis.
And when it is consumed into your body, it gets stored in your fat stores, and our brain and our nervous system has a lot of fat content, as well as breast milk has high fat content. So that's where our primary concern is, what are the effects on the baby's developing brain? The body of evidence does point to problems with cognitive development as well as behavioral problems later in childhood and in adolescence.
In Wymore's study, nursing mothers agree to discontinue cannabis consumption for a period of 6 weeks. That has already caused several to drop out.
About half of them said that they couldn't stop using marijuana, and it signals to me that we have like a public health issue if women are thinking that it's better to use marijuana and take that risk and that gamble.
And she is not alone in her concern. In 2014, Tri-County Health, the state's largest county health department, quantified the number of mothers in its Women, Infants, and Children program who self-reported using THC. Of 1,749 women surveyed, 95 admitted to THC use in the previous 30 days. Among that group, almost 36% reported using while pregnant, about 41% after pregnancy, and nearly 14% while breastfeeding. What's more, a national study published recently by the Journal of American Medical Association shows that the use of marijuana among pregnant women has increased more than 60% since 2002. The Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment has issued guidelines for pregnant and nursing mothers warning there is no known safe amount of marijuana use during pregnancy. But Jamie doesn't see it that way because she says definitive research has not been completed.
If there's something out there like a research that shows that it's bad for either me or my baby, I would stop. But there's nothing out there, and I think it's doing me good, so.
What I just hope is that people would have more caution to let us try to find more evidence to support what the exact effects are and be a little bit more patient before using something that could harm your child.
Now, a lot of you just seeing this for the first time like we are and already commenting on it. Courtney says, I'm fine with it. The nausea medication offered by doctors doesn't really work for everyone, so it should be a personal decision on that. And then we had Jim who weighed in and said, until the results of the study come out negative, I would say that women should not be smoking marijuana while breastfeeding, obviously wondering to make sure that the child is not going to be harmed in any way.
That would be my thing. What she said in there was, you know, there are no studies that show it's bad, but that's because there are no studies.
Yeah. It's going to be another layer to the onion that is legalized marijuana.
more to talk about.
All right, we're also going to talk about how beautiful it's been outside. Mr. Sunglasses coming back with more in just a little bit.
Ask and you shall receive if it has anything to do with your pets, that is. It's National Pet Day. We asked you to send us your photos this morning, and of course, you are more than happy to oblige.
Yeah, we got like 1,000, actually 1,000 pictures of your cats and dogs, proof that you really, really love your animals. And listen, we're not even mad about that because we should just cancel the rest of the show and throw pictures of animals on a loop for everybody to look at. I feel like didn't we just have though like National Pet Day? I just put up pictures of me and the dogs the other day. So.
But was that just a cat's head though?
I don't know. Well, look, there's a pig. See?
Oh, pets of all kind. Pets of all kind.
That's cute.
You know who really slacked though on the pet photos this time around?
Well,
Keith Carson, who posts a photo of his dog every single day,
but not
except
today.
National Pet Day.
Well, he's too cool. He's too cool.
Yeah. It fits my contrarian nature, guys. You're going to see a picture of Reese's every day except for the day that he's supposed to be posted. I did take him to the beach today, though, at lunch. Not that I take a lunch, but if I did, I would have had time for that. We're here at Hadlock Field because we wanted to show the difference between opening day last Thursday, driving rainstorm, 36 degrees, and finally now spring has arrived. It's cooled down a bit for sure with the sea breeze, but still, it got here at some point. Right now it's 65 in Portland, still 84 degrees in Sanford. Most of us are going to stay clear tonight, and then we're going to see some showers moving in as we head into tomorrow morning. All right, we got a cold front on the way. That front, though, doesn't have all that much juice with it. So as it approaches, it'll give us some scattered showers. But before that happens, tonight we'll see clouds increase at the upper levels, but not at the lower levels. So it'll be kind of a high, thin cloudiness around most of Maine. Now, on the radar picture, you'll see the showers that were in place across northern Maine. You know, everybody talking about what a nice day it was. Unfortunately, that was not the case in Aroostook County. It was showery. It was much cooler for the northern tip of Maine. Here comes that cold front on the way. It will give us some showers, and the combination of those showers and the rapid snowmelt that we were getting today, all that green area there is a flood watch in effect for tomorrow for the possibility of some very minor flooding. I don't think it'll be a big deal. Now that brighter green area, that's actually a flood warning for the Kennebec River, as they're seeing a little swollen action there with runoff. Again, minor, but something to watch. So showers arrive late tonight, early tomorrow morning. I do think, though, that we get a little bit of sunshine in the middle part of the day on Wednesday before showers overspread the entire area Wednesday afternoon through Wednesday night. We quickly clear out, though, on Thursday morning, such that Thursday is a bright day. It will be cooler, but the thing about this pattern right now is cooler still means mid and upper 50s. So we're not going to really drop down all that much compared to where we were through a lot of March and the beginning of April. Back to sunshine on Friday, temperatures in the upper 50s, probably in the low 60s on Saturday. I'd say 3/4 of Saturday is good. Late Saturday afternoon, clouds increase, and I can't rule out a chance for a drop Saturday late in the day. But I think the biggest forecast change is that the shower chances, in my opinion, have decreased a bit on Easter Sunday. Not to say that it is not going to rain a bit on Easter Sunday. I still think there's some drops around, but I think there are less of them, and I think temperatures have the potential to be warmer. I've got 65 right now, but certainly a potential for temperatures to be in the 70s instead on Easter Sunday. So guys, I think, you know, Lee was trying to nail me down to say it wasn't going to snow again in Maine. I don't know if that's the case, but it certainly feels like we're turning the corner.
That's all I was trying to say.
Right.
That's all I was trying to say. All right. Thank you very much. All right, coming up on News Center 5:30, the matching wardrobe and I are going to coordinate our colors.
You know what? Aren't we all feeling a little springy today? Yes. We are, and we should be. Well, now that the snow is gone, it is grass fire season, you guys. We're going to take you to one Maine town where a guy was burning brush and it spread to his home. Really a lesson for all of us. Opioid addiction is now one of the biggest health crises facing our state, and today lawmakers are being asked to require doctors and other healthcare workers to lay out just how addictive painkillers can be to their patients. And we're going to take you to a small town that ended up with an empty school. How many of those are there in Maine? Well, a couple of guys came up with an idea of what to do with it. It's pretty cool. Those stories and more coming up at 5:30.
One big old house party right there. I'm not suggesting, I'm just saying. All right, News Center now continues after the break.
Well, today's Brain Drops, we're talking about asteroids, specifically one that will pass pretty close to the Earth a week from today on Wednesday. This asteroid, which is named, very catchy name, 2014 JO25, is one of the biggest asteroids to come this close to the Earth in a long time. Now, this close is a relative term in space. It's 1.1 million miles away from Earth, which is about 4.5 times the distance between Earth and Moon. But again, for an asteroid of this size, which is about 500 or 600 meters in diameter, this is relatively close. Now, you will be able to see this asteroid at night with a telescope. It will not be bright enough to be visible to the naked eye. It's interesting, guys, NASA has a website called Sentry. It's the Earth Impact Monitoring website. So if you want to know when the Earth might come to its conclusion, this is a good website to look at. The next chance of a large asteroid, at least according to Sentry, hitting the Earth would be in 2054. At this point, that asteroid only has a 0.0000023 chance of hitting the Earth. So in this case, guys, you're saying there's a chance.
That's all we're looking for. Thanks, sir. There's a chance I'm going to grab some quarters, head to the closest arcade, and play some asteroids after seeing that, because that was awesome.
News Center at 5:30 is next.